to Fromania Bricks, and welcome back to the world's most intergalactic Lego room that you will ever find on the internet webs. At least when you're visiting our house and up on the second floor. And welcome back to the...
I would actually say that my room is more intergalactic.
You are not incorrect. Your room is way more... Welcome back to the second most intergalactic Lego room in our house. The actual Lego room. Welcome back to the Lego table where in front of us we have the Lego UCS Imperial Shuttle. The latest Lego Star Wars Starship to soar into this guy's eclectic Lego collection. Do you know how to unlock doors on Kashyyyk?
I do not.
Use a Wookiee. What do you call a bunch of Sith stacked up on a lightsaber?
I do not know.
A Sith kebab.
That was a good one.
Micah, incredible new Starship has soared into your collection. This is Lego Star Wars set number
10212.
Whew, look at that. We didn't even practice that. The Imperial Shuttle. And my oh my, how imperial and majestic is he. We picked this up recently at Bricks and Minifigs. You've been eyeing it for quite some time up on the shelves. But this Imperial Shuttle comes with an Imperial price tag, even used. So it's always been like just out of reach. And actually it's not out of reach because you're tall enough to reach the top shelf when I'm not tall enough to reach the top shelf. But price-wise, it's been just out of reach. But recently you decided that it was worth parting with some of your older Starships.
Yeah, smaller Starships.
For an even older Starship. But you traded in, you brought in quite a bit of Star Wars Lego memorabilia to trade in. You hit the metric. You also sold a modular to me, to my collection. We even do that, like we buy and sell to each other. Because I know one day Micah's going to grow up and he's going to move out and he's going to conquer the world. And he's taking his Lego sets with him, and there's some that I want to keep with me. So I bought a Lego set from him as well as the ones that he traded, and he landed this beaut in the collection. And today, we get to look at this thing with you. As Micah said, this is Lego set 10212, the Lego Imperial Shuttle. This thing was built using 2,503 Lego elements. It came with 5 minifigures, 3 of which were exclusive to the set. It originally retailed for $259.99. It's definitely not $259.99 anymore. It was actually a 16 and up set, which it's a good thing that Micah is above the 16 because he couldn't have owned it before this year. It came in around 10 cents an element, and it hit shelves September 1st of 2010, and it stayed on shelves for quite some time.
And
December 31st?
2012.
2012. Super amazing set to be adding into the collection. Today, we're going to do a quick walkthrough. We'll do it Spupler style, kind of talk about the visual design, the minifigures. It won't be getting an official score today, but it will be getting an official deep dive as we talk about the UCS Imperial Shuttle with you guys. First up, let's take a look at these 5 minifigures, 3 of them being exclusive minifigures. Tell me about this first guy here.
This guy is just your Imperial Shuttle pilot. I don't know if anyone even technically knows what the pilots to an Imperial Shuttle are supposed to look like. At least at the time this set was released. Because when I googled Imperial Shuttle pilot, the only thing I could really find was from The Mandalorian, which hadn't come out when this set came out. But this is the pilot they give. I think that he has like a Death Star Trooper torso, which probably wouldn't be correct. But overall, I think he works pretty well. And he's not too dissimilar from the shuttle pilot.
So he doesn't have a name.
2000, I think. Doesn't have a name, just shuttle pilot.
Well, if we've got Jedi Bob, who is an unnamed Jedi, I think we name him Shuttle Pilot Steve.
Shuttle pilot Steve.
Next fig.
This guy is an Imperial commander, which I think is the officer who Darth Vader would have handed Luke's lightsaber to in Return of a Jedi after Luke turned himself in. It's been so long since I've seen that, though, so don't quote me on that. So, but I believe that is that's who that's supposed to be.
Next to that, we've got just a basic trooper. Or is there anything special about this guy?
There's nothing special about him, sadly. Just a basic trooper, and that's all they needed. But I wish we had, like, 4 of them, really. Because it would be cool to line them up outside the shuttle.
So I'm going to guess the basic trooper is not one of the exclusive figs.
I don't know. I actually don't think that technically any of these really are exclusive. Because I believe they're all really cheap. So I think it's probably just, like,
the
parts.
configuration
of the parts. But I don't think any of the parts would actually be exclusive. Okay. That's my guess.
Then we've got Darth Vader.
Darth Vader does have a head print. And
he does.
I do not know if his back is printed, actually. Let's see if it's back.
No back print. He does have a head print.
And
pretty aggressive head print, actually.
Yeah, and a nice chrome lightsaber, which I
do like the chrome lightsaber hilt.
I get why they had to get rid of them, but at least...
Why did they have to get rid of them?
Because they chip so easily that chrome paint does. Now, at least for, like, an adult set... Like, this was probably not being bought by kids who are going to clip it in and out of their hand lots while playing with it. So at least for sets like this, I guess they probably should have kept it.
And then we've got a Luke here.
That Luke. I would guess he's one of the exclusive ones, which is probably because this is a very old-looking torso to me.
He looks like Dark Side Luke.
Yeah, he does. It is kind of funny he's in all black when he becomes a Jedi. My guess is that torso was never released with this more modern face print on it, and that's why he's exclusive.
So, Micah, how do you feel about the figs? Did we get the right figs with this set?
I definitely think... Okay, so when you look at the box, this is obviously meant to be the Imperial Shuttle on Endor.
Okay.
And for the Imperial Shuttle that was on Endor, these are absolutely the correct figures.
Got it.
For that shuttle.
What movie would this have been from then?
From
Empire Strikes Back? Return of the Jedi.
You remembered that Empire Strikes Back
remembered Empire Strikes Back was a movie.
So I think definitely the right figures. A Palpatine and some Royal Guards would have been cool for some of the other scenes they did have a shuttle in. But if you could only get 5 figures, I think they did the right.
For 2010, are these well designed, or could they have done a better job for 2010 figs?
Probably. I mean, they had the ability to print legs and arms at that point. I don't know how much they utilized it, but I think that for what it is, I don't think there's anything wrong with them. They're definitely not, like, spectacular. Like, they're definitely the highlight of the set, but I think for what it is, I think they did fine with them.
What's wild to me is this set's very expensive, and normally expensive vintage Star Wars sets are because there's a 1 or 2 figs that are driving the price. These guys have almost no impact on how expensive this set is.
Probably an average of like $10, $15 each.
Wow.
Tops.
So we bought this pre-built. He does have the box and book, which is amazing. Yes. But this was bought pre-built. What was the build experience? You broke it down. Were able to clean it a little bit, but so that you could get the actual build experience out of it. How was this one to build?
Some of the technic elements did get a little bit tedious in the wings. But overall, it was actually one of the more diverse UCS builds I've done. There's you're doing a lot of different stuff, and it doesn't feel nearly as tedious as like the Venator of a Star Destroyer.
I do see the Technic elements in the wing that you're talking about. There's also some Technic assembly inside of these wings. When we get to the playability and functions, we'll talk about it. So overall, like, it's hard to rebuild a used set, especially one that's all the same color. It's a lot of work, but you did this in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
It wasn't a long build for you.
I did break it down by sections. So I had like one wing, other wing, etc. So it was actually... I did read that the bags weren't numbered, so I may have had an easier experience than it would have been.
So it was literally all of these bags just dumped out to build.
What I read was correct. Yeah, it wasn't numbered. I don't know if it was accurate, but I don't think the...
That's old school right there. That's wild.
Yeah, it is pretty...
That's wild to think about. Aesthetic. This head-on view of this ship is pretty amazing. Of course, the wings go up. The wings also will come down. We'll show you that a little bit later. That impacts the aesthetic of it. But from a visual standpoint, I have seen Imperial Shuttles before, a real Imperial Shuttle. I mean, not in real life, but on the Return of the Jedi movie, I've seen an Imperial Shuttle. And to me, it seems like an amazing representation. If you put this side by side with a toy out of the 70s, check this out. We've got a Hasbro Imperial Shuttle that a friend amazingly gifted to Micah. And when you look at the two, I mean, look at that.
The size is almost identical, which I don't see any way that was done on purpose. But at the same time, it's almost so close, it's difficult to ignore how close together the size
I mean,
is.
oftentimes models are built to certain scales, right? Like a 1/43rd scale, a 1/24th scale, a 1/64th scale. So they must have picked the same scaling model.
But the thing is, this is about, maybe not perfect, but it's about to scale with minifigures. Because it says it's 20 meters long, and I lined up a figure, and it would have been pretty much to scale with minifigures, and like Hasbro had action figures.
So this was not to scale to the action figures.
No, it would not have been. It would actually have been like huge compared or tiny compared to an action figure.
Okay, but I'd propose to you that this could have been built to one scale, and the figs that go in it were built on a different scale. Like the figs could have been built at a 1/40th scale, and this could have been built at a 1/30th scale, and they just made the two work together.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. So visually, it looks like what it's supposed to.
Yeah.
How do you feel about how Lego executed the design of this?
It was actually, I think it's like the perfect execution, really, because when I was building it, you build the sets now, and you've got lots of really specialized greebling elements and stuff, and I love that. But this was all just like basic, very basic parts, and they made it look so beautiful with just very limited parts compared to what they have today. And I actually really think it's cool. Like just because they didn't have all those super unique elements we have now, but they did have good greebling and stuff that they did just with those parts, and it was really neat to see.
You can see the cockpit is a really nice, sleek design. All of the wings, while it's big white panels, they also have a little texture in them that make them feel kind of mechanical.
The white.
You've got some gears in it that we're going to talk about in a little bit, but they don't look that off-putting.
Yeah, for sure. And the control panels, I know they're stickers. I know a lot of people don't like stickers. I'm with you. I don't like stickers. But but the actual design is really cool. They've got all different Star Wars writing and different readouts of the shuttle.
Oh yeah, you would have never gotten that in a print, so that is cool that they stickered it. You can see it through the...
Yeah, definitely not a generic print. It would have had to have designed its own thing.
Also, let's take a look at the back of this. When you look at the back, is this supposed to be cannons on the back?
Yeah, it's a cannon.
Cannons on the back, the thrusters.
Nice greebling battle droid arms and like faucets.
Oh, that is pretty cool. You do have these that are kind of awkward because they're going to operate the wings. But if you get them lined up right, they could look almost like some type of thruster or cannon as well.
And really, you could, with modern pieces, you could slide something else. If you didn't care about adjusting the wings, there is a way you could slide something else in there. I think that would then allow you to make it look more cohesive. But you're not going to really be looking at it from the back, so I really don't. I think it's worth the trade-off of having adjustable wings for sure.
All right, so visually, super solid set. Let's talk a little bit about playability and functions. Now, this was designed to be a UCS. So think UCS Millennium Falcon. Think UCS Slave One. Think UCS Venator. These larger scale display models. Through that lens, it's kind of playable, but it's kind of not.
I actually have to say, after I built it, I was able to hold it very comfortably and swoosh it around and walk around.
It's swooshable?
Yeah, you have to have the wings down. But it is definitely, once the wings are down, it is very swooshable. For sure.
It's very heavy.
Well, very swooshable given what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely super heavy. It's kind of awkward if the wings aren't down, right? It's flopping around a little bit. On the legs, when it's standing on its feet, it's very front heavy. So it could flip forward very easy.
Yeah, I would say probably not up to the stability standards we would have had today.
It definitely is not. It also had a display stand that came with it. That's kind of a function. So you've got this stand that goes with it. I don't have it on the stand because if we put it on the stand,
it'll be...
Number one, it would be way off camera. Number two, the landing gear is on it and you can't put it on with the landing gear. Number three, with these wings, it's just way too top heavy to sit on the stand.
But you can sit it on once they're down, and it's fine.
So you do get, as you saw a minute ago, the front canopy will open. You can fit 4 figs in it.
You can stand the Stormtrooper in mirror between them too if you want it bad enough.
So you can technically get all 5 figs in it. Though Luke would not have been actively in this. It would have been.
He would have.
He would have?
When he turns himself in and they take him up to the Death Star, I think they take him away in the shuttle.
Oh, but he wouldn't have been in the front. He wouldn't have been piloting.
Probably not.
He'd have probably been in the back.
Daddy, can I ride up front with you, Daddy? And then Vader let him. But yeah, you're right. There's no interior, but I understand why, because structurally it would have been difficult.
So this also has wings that go down. So first Micah's going to pull the feet off of it.
Wait.
So there's some Technic pins that hold it on. Now he's going to begin to fold the wing down very tediously and very slowly.
But not a terribly long
I wish that there was a quicker, easier ratchet way to do this than actually fold the whole wing down.
2000 shuttle mode where the wings didn't go all the way down and they just kind of stuck out like this.
So now he's going to awkwardly and slowly lower the other wing. So there you go. Now you're in a swooshable state, which it's still pretty hard to swoosh.
When you hold it with 2 hands, though, like this, with a hand on the bottom, I was very comfortable swooshing it.
It's literally falling apart. If you touch it anywhere, what we're trying to say is that this is a much better display model than play model.
I agree. Although, like, for an older kid, maybe his stronger arms, I think as a deluxe playset, I think it works. I think you just put it up on the stand to lower down the wings, and you can swoosh it around. I had no problem.
So now that the wings are down, we can set it on the stand and show you here how this locks in. It's just... There's no clicks in it. It's literally just a little stand. You're relying on 8 Lego studs to hold this whole thing together. I get nervous. Look how wobbly this stand is. This really, to me, is not the best stand. It feels super wobbly, super wiggly.
To me, okay, so I noticed the plates are kind of bowing up. I don't know if I built it wrong or...
I think it's just the pressure of this.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like it feels pretty... You can shake it around pretty good. I feel like it feels sturdy. Don't they build bridges to wobble and it's still
They do.
stable?
They build buildings...
if you whap the wing hard, walk into it, sure it'll fall, but that would kind of be what would be the case with any stand. So I think...
It just feels big and awkward, and maybe it's the big awkwardness that makes me feel a little uncomfortable with it. Let's talk about value now. How do you feel about how this was priced at retail?
Okay, so the price of 260 retail equated to like $380 today.
Oh,
which is a lot.
Goodness.
And the piece count, definitely it doesn't have a $400 piece count. It does have, when you set it up, a $400 presence to it.
It does have a $400 presence. It's a very big presence.
Opposite the Republic dropship set, which is a huge set in my room. And it makes the dropship look tiny when you're looking at the two together. So, also you had a lot of big pillars, panels, Technic beams, windows. So, larger elements... 400 is a lot, but all Lego is a lot. So I think that it was a pretty fair price point. Definitely you get more to this than to the normal size UCS set, for sure. So
the price of this, though, has really soared since it's retired. Yes. This now, retired, pre-owned, complete, is in the $800 to $900 range traditionally.
$700 to $800.
And then what about sealed?
Sealed, I would say probably like $1,100 to $1,400 would be the range, but I'm not sure.
And again, what's wild, that's not because of minifigures. It's because of the set. And there are some exclusive parts on the set.
No, the sticker sheet's exclusive. These elements only came in a handful of sets. The cheapest one I saw in Brooklyn, I think, was like $6, but the average is like $10. So
the sticker sheet has to be worth a little bit.
Sticker sheet, there are like 200 on Bricklink, I think, and there's one I see on eBay for like 140, but they're kind of peeling up a bit. I was gonna try and buy that sticker sheet and order the parts on Lego.com to build this thing, to try and save money. And when I got into the order, and I'd done like 300 parts, and it was already $70, and I had
So it's just because of the elements, like they're just spendier elements that are a part of it.
Spendier.
So the sticker is just the computer panels in the front sticker.
Yes, that's it. Which it's not too bad. They definitely didn't rely on it for like outside detail.
So really, this set isn't unfairly priced. It's just an expensive configuration of elements now if someone wants to build it. Other than the sticker sheet, which is a little high, but that's normal. It's just kind of is what it is. It's not like there's one rare thing that drives the price through the roof. It's just an expensive build.
And then the box and instructions have value to them as well.
That's right. Well, super cool, Micah. I'm excited that this is in your collection. I know that it was hard to say goodbye to some of the sets that you said goodbye to.
It was worth it.
But it was worth it. Sometimes we enjoy things and we let them go so we can bring something new into the collection. It's exactly what I did with Eldorado Fortress. So we're probably going to start doing that a little more. Yeah. We've quite literally run out of space. Part of it was
just because I was like, I don't know where next release wave that I get, I don't know where I'm going to put everything. So I just wanted to consolidate it into one big thing I really wanted and then have some more room around.
That's right. So we're gonna start cycling through more stuff. We've got a big collection. We've got enough. It's a matter now of starting to cycle things through so that we can bring in the new, let other people enjoy the old, and have more things to share with you guys as well. So, hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Lego room today. Micah, thank you for letting us check out this Regally Imperial Starship. Excited that it's in your collection. We hope that you go out there in the week ahead, that you give more,
do more,
share more,
and love more.
And whatever you do, remember to always show your smile. Those smiles, they truly are contagious.
Give more, do more, share more, and love.